Well, hello, my beautiful people. We have a great, significant day, at least in my life, for today. Today marks my 1 year anniversary that I've been retired. And to celebrate that, me and Agatha, Agatha the Great, are out on a campground trail hike. The same campground that last time I did a video of Buddy and myself walking through the wonderful flowers and Mother Nature here. This little trail at this campground, pretty cool. But we'll give them a little sniff and wear them out. We've been doing quite a bit. We took off a trip to go visit some family. I had a niece that graduated high school and is on her way to college. So congratulations there, Audrey. And it was nice visiting them as always. And now we're making our way back to have another adventure. But it's going to take some slow roaming and a little bit of driving and a lot of rest and relaxation. We're not trying to overdo ourselves. But yeah, it's been interesting. So 1 year ago, June 1st, 2024, I retired, and here it is. 1 year later, June 1st, 2025, still retired. Haven't had got a hadn't had a need to get another job. I've done a lot. Uh, been busy, been lazy, it's been very, very entertaining. The big excitement in my life right now is my wife has retired as well, way ahead of schedule. So we are in the next phase of our life, downsizing, getting the house prepped. She's at home. She had some things she had to take care of, so she couldn't come on this trip, but she'll be on the next one. We're downsizing everything in the house, getting the house ready to put up on the market. Hopefully it sells. If it doesn't sell, we'll stay in the house a little bit longer. But in the meantime, we're downsizing, and she's, I would say, enjoying the downsizing a lot more than I am. And typically, come, you gotta stay close. Come, yeah. Um, she's typically the hoarder in the house. She doesn't like throwing anything away, but she's sure having a good time, just like getting rid of stuff. We did the yard sale one time. The yard sale thing was interesting. Originally the plan was whatever doesn't sell that day, we're going to get rid of. And it turned out like you didn't really sell a whole lot, and we still had a whole lot more stuff. And I didn't feel like putting this stuff back in the garage and then just doing this every week all summer long. So we donated a lot of stuff. We took a lot of stuff to the yard. Was it the dump? I donated, gifted, just getting rid of it at this point. So now we got everything going in boxes, getting ready to get, I guess, put into storage. We have people kind of doing some labor in the house, painting, patching, stuff that I don't feel like doing or I'm not able to do, huh, baby? Uh, so yeah, it's just a lot of things in motion, and hopefully this summer, what the plan is, if we get the house sold, we will have everything packed up, put in storage, and then travel full time. Why are we traveling? Where are we going? What's the mystery? We don't know. We have no clue. We don't know where we're going. We know we want to travel and go see some things. Uh, come over here. Come, Agatha. Good girl. Heel. Uh, that's not a heel. Come on, silly goose. Stay close. Um, So yeah, we're gonna travel. We're gonna go find a new place to call home to settle our roots, our old roots, and see if it takes hold. We've lived in the East Coast, and then we want to head out west. How far west? We don't know. We don't care. We're gonna go visit as many places as we can. We're gonna take our time, and if we find a place that we really really love, a sense of community, a sense of small town feel, where you don't have to lock your doors, just a happy place. And if you know a place like that we should check out, let me know. I'll definitely will check it out, or we'll check it out, I guess. We don't know where we're gonna go. Uh, no states, no countries off limits. We're not saying, hey, it's gonna be in the U.S., but we're gonna look in the U.S. first, and then who knows? It might venture out even further out. But yeah, it's a good position to be in. That if the house sells, the house sells. That we can kind of roam and be free for a little bit. Uh, got a lot of projects in the work to get done to make it happen, and it's happening really really fast. So that's pretty much the update. Where we're going, like I said, we don't know. Uh, I didn't get to do all the things I wanted to do. Uh, Part of it is being lazy, part of it been busy, a lot of things in motion, but doing a lot of walks and travel has been kind of the highlight. So that's what we got going on. But all right, I don't think I have much more of an update. I am trying to convince my wife to start coming on and maybe hold a weekly podcast. So we might be doing that here in a little bit. So stay tuned. So I did have a question, like how do we afford the lifestyle we have? Uh, Saved a lot of money. It's not millions of dollars, but we have enough money. We're good. I do option trading. I do income investing. I have stocks. I got lucky. I'll say I got lucky, and that's how we're able to do what we got. So I think investing early, following the FIRE program or your own version of it, the younger you start, the better off you'll be. But yeah, that's where we're at. I didn't want to wait till I'm 62, 65. I wanted to, wish I could retire when I was in my 30s, but here we are. All right, we are going to take a break here. All right, let's go. A nice little break. I took a couple of pictures. Playing around with my new camera. Got a little 360 camera. It's very interesting camera. Trying to learn how to play with it. So we're out here just taking a walk, taking pictures of everything and around, just trying different things. And anyways, figure I'd answer some questions that I get asked all the time. So the number one question is, how can I afford everything? Um, and basically, yeah, just the sooner you start, the better you'll be. And invest as much as you can. Number two, I think you need to learn to budget. You need to learn to live below your means. You need to save as much money as you possibly can. Uh, you don't have to save everything, but you need to pay yourself, give yourself an allowance. Just like when you were a kid, whatever that allowance is, however that budget works for you, it's up to you. You make the rules. You tweak it as necessary. We tweak our budget quite a bit. There's times when we have to tweak it because things got more expensive or we went over a budget. We have to figure out how to move money around. When we use a bucket system, And that's what has worked for us really, really well. Ooh, I guess last 25 years we've been doing it. And I will say that it got us out of debt really, really fast. Paid off credit cards, paid off loans really quick. We've paid for vehicles by cash because we saved, put money in there. Um, the only thing we have is a mortgage, and that can pretty much get paid off really quick. But I can make more money investing than I can just paying the house off. So there's that. So yeah, have a good budget. Be true to your budget. I've had friends like, is the budget really that important? I mean, me and my wife, we go over our food budget every week or every month, whatever, but we don't really care. We just, all right, next month it resets. Well, you're not really being, you're living above your means. And if that bucket or whatever needs to be higher, make it higher. There's things you can do. Uh, your habits, but you gotta learn to cut back. Sometimes you have to give things up. This way. Good girl. I have my dogs trained uh, to come when I whistle and to do certain things with hand gestures, facial expressions, whistles or clicks. Very important having a good dog that listens and minds very well trained. Even though she's the wildcat, she's an introvert out of the two dogs. The other one, Buddy, he's an extrovert, very outgoing. Um, yin and yang. She calms him down, and he gets her out of her bubble. She's scared of people and new situations, and wants to wants me to protect her and save her. I'm her safe person. She's a little princess. She's a little drama queen, and she'll tell me. She basically will tell me. I'll ask her questions. She'll, yep. All right. I know. We listen. Anyhow, just silly stuff, huh? There you go. Uh, some of the other questions I got, you know, between the budget and what to invest in and other things. A lot of times I tell people, well, look into fire. Basically, that's all I was getting. Somebody I knew, somebody that I respected, a manager of mine. We're gonna call him Tony. Um, I asked him, well, how are you able to retire? And he said, fire. I'm like, what is fire? Now, this was years ago. I think like I can't remember how many years ago. I think it was before COVID. Didn't know what fire was, but apparently I was doing fire. Didn't even know I was doing it. Minus some of the key things. But yeah, and then it just kind of opened up a world. Dug in, Mr. Money Mustache, and other books and investing and stuff like that. Like, okay, I'm already doing most of this stuff. Um, I grabbed me a notebook, big fat notebook, and I wrote all kinds of stuff, financial budgets, all my subscriptions down, all whatever I was paying out. I went back like 14 months. I think I needed to go back 3 years really to find out everything that my money was going out. Like I had a subscription like was renew for like 700-800 bucks, 3 year subscription for something that I used for work, education and stuff like that. So yeah, I had to go back 3 years just to find anything that came out of my pocket automatically without me knowing. So sometimes going back through all your bank statements line by line, I put everything in an Excel spreadsheet and then filtered everything out, one item at a time, or whatever, one payee, whatever it was. Figured out what was subscriptions, what was not, canceled a bunch of things. But yeah, you got to know what's going in, what's going out. We've done a budget and stuff like that, but sometimes even the budget gets a little chaotic and you lose track of what's really coming in and out, especially when you have like two salaries and separate checking accounts and things like that. Just it gets a little difficult sometimes. But you got to know, you really know what needs to come and go, because that's going to play, a big portion. And if you're saving money, it's good to save money, but put it in something that's going to earn a lot more money. Rather that's an index fund, a high yield savings account. Put it in something other than a bank account. You want that money to grow. A lot of the fire community is about putting it in index funds. And if you got 30 years, by all means do it. Put it in your IRA, your retirement accounts, as well as a taxable account. Join communities. But think and listen and learn before you just jump into things. I've made some stupid moves just because of everybody else was doing. I'm like, okay. You get caught up in the nonsense, and it will bite you if you really don't know what you're doing. So yeah, do your research. Ignore all the YouTube gurus you see on TV and whatever. They're there to make a profit off of you. Um, Most of them don't know a hole in a wall. A lot of them have little titsy fits and little feuds with other YouTubers. It's just like whatever. They don't want to sell you an e-guide or a class. You don't need any of that. Be true to you. You can learn everything without having to focus on these YouTube. So I would just stay away from the YouTube gurus and whatever else. Uh, Stick to like a fire community and things like that. But yeah, that's definitely some good stuff. Um, Living below your means doesn't mean, eating ramen noodles every day. I've heard that one before. They didn't like fire because that means I just have to eat ramen noodles every day. No, that's not what it is. It's not how that works. You figure out what's important. You figure out what is a deal breaker. Everybody's journey is different when it comes to fire, right? Um, I like music, so my deal breaker was, hey, I didn't want to give up certain music, so I have a couple of subscriptions to some music. Uh, those are things that make me feel good and enjoyment and stuff like that. So my wife has hers. So those are things. Some people don't want to move out of a certain community, so that's a deal breaker, or have to give up a certain type of a car or luxury or whatever. You have to figure out your journey and what you can can give up and what you can't give up or live without, and how soon or how fast you want to get there. If you want to get there fast, yeah, you might eat ramen noodles for every day for a year. I don't know. I'm not doing that, but um, maybe your journey is 20 years from now and you don't mind eating out 2 3 times a week. So you just have to figure out and fine tune what works for you and how you want to get there. No two journeys are the same. So I've learned in the communities, no one will really give you advice or a template how to get there, and that's what I've been asked. I can't tell you the number of times. What is the app? I just want to know, what app are you using? What template are you using? Like there is none. There is no do all for everybody. Uh, you ready? Let's go do some more walking. Um, there isn't a template. I grabbed a notebook, big fat notebook, and I went through my work's retirement and benefits, and I wrote down everything. I knew all the rules if I left early, my IRAs, my whatever. And I got some things wrong or didn't quite understand some things. I made mistakes like the 55, was it 15 and 55 rule or whatever it is. Goofed that one. Yeah, kind of made me mad. But you know what? It's all good because I was still able to do what I need to do. I just won't be able to touch the money till much later. But you're not going to get everything perfect. You're not going to have nothing but wins. You're going to have failures, but you figure it out and you move on. Um, but you write down as much information and stuff that you can in this notebook. And no, like I have budget. I had all my retirement stuff, my employee stock purchase plan. I have everything mapped out. Uh, I mean, I go into a lot of detail. For me, detail is key. The more detail I have, the better I can make an assumption. I have spreadsheets too. Um, and then, I listen to podcasts, read articles and blogs and different things, wrote down key things and did research off of that. And that was my retirement notebook. I still have it. I have two of them. I had to go to a second one. I made a couple of template of what I did for my wife and a couple of friends of mine. Uh, Whether they use it or not, I don't know. My wife's been using it, and a lot more now that she had this opportunity that came up out of nowhere. So yeah, I think we're going to be more than okay with things to go. But the future's uncertain. She's not quite 50 yet. She won't be quite 50 for a little bit longer. Married him young, 5 years younger than me. Uh, she was an adult. There was none of this minor stuff in there. She was an adult. She was 20 when we got married. Uh, but we had a lot of stuff that we going through. She's trying to figure everything out. Like, wow, she thought she had time. She was planning to retire in 5 years, but the opportunity came up. She took it. It was a deal that you couldn't pass up. Jump on it, and that's where we're at. So now all these things are set in motion, and she's trying to make sure everything's good and checks and balances, and we're good. I think we're going to be good. We're going to figure it out. And if not, I guess we'll be working at Walmart as a greeter or something. I don't know. There's there's stuff that we can do. I went to class, got certified RV technician and RV inspector, got tools, and I could do all that if I wanted to. Uh, she she can do auditing and other interesting skills that yeah is a high demand. Oops, that I heard somebody back there. Um, but yeah, it's definitely our doors are not closed if we have to go back to work. It might be a little bit more difficult because we're older. Might be a little bit more difficult because we may not have a home here in a few months. But that's the key. That's the things that we're looking at, playing around with, trying to figure things out. Uh, just interesting stuff. Interesting and busy. I wanted to do a podcast to get my wife and I let her talk about her experience. So if I can convince her, I think it would be a great addition, and we just do a podcast once a week or something. Because she has a lot of good insight. I'm the wild card. Uh, I'm I'm definitely the wild card in the relationship. May not seem like it on the YouTube, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. Uh, some of the other questions, it's like some people want you to hold their hands, and you can't. They want to know everything that you're investing in, and shadow trade, and like that stuff like that. It's difficult because if you give a financial advice to somebody and you fail, that person's going to blame you, and you could get in trouble. And they ain't trying to do that. But I'm learning options. I'm learning different strategies, and I have friends that kind of, well, you could do this. I'm like, okay, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. Or nah, that might be a little bit too risky for me. So I'm making the determination. I'm not doing anything because somebody tells me I need to do it. It's a learning process. Some things I went gun ho, kind of bit me in the butt, and I'm doing some things to mitigate. It's not a loss or anything, but I could have done better if I wasn't so aggressive in my trading. But here we are. So yeah. So anyways, I think that's definitely all the questions. Other than where I've been, and where I've been is busy, downsizing, getting the house ready, traveling. Um, yeah, not much time to do YouTube videos or anything. Every day we're boxing things up, getting rid of things. So yeah, and here we are. All right, I think we're about done here, about ready to come out of our trail, and I thank you for joining us on this lovely walk. Tomorrow we will be on the road, heading back home. It probably will take us three or more days. We're just kind of taking our time and focusing on that, you know, uh, taking our time, getting to point A, point B. Sometimes, you know, there's a side quest in there or two. So yeah, we're doing it. But anyways, we're gonna head back to Debbie. We're gonna make some dinner. We're gonna relax, enjoy the nice weather. Hopefully, we'll see the aurora tonight. And we'll we'll see. So until then, y'all take care.